Hello, everyone. This is Initiation into Truth, which is the name I have decided I'm keeping. Yay! Anyways, oh, there's cats everywhere. I'm flipping this around. Can I flip this around? Oh, I hate this stuff. I was able to before when I was doing this. I was taking a picture. Those are my cats. Look at there's cats. I know. Intuitive people, kitties love intuitive people. It's really funny. Animals feel our spirit. That's how they read us. They read us by our energy. Oh, I know. It's really pathetic, but yes, this is in fact true. This is our little herd. Oh, look at, I have to show you my carpet. Is this not to die for? Anyways, I suck at videotaping. I'm just starting this out. How do you experience enlightenment? It's not something you can intellectualize. Lots of people try to. It's hard to explain. It's, especially for spiritual seekers, it's really, for me anyway, I research things like to death. To death. I like hours upon hours a day for the last 4 years. I've just been researching all aspects of truth and spirituality thereof. And on your journey to awakening, it's, I want to remind people that it's a very fluid sort of transition. What I mean about that fluidity is for me, because I have really immersed myself in this. My beliefs have been very fluid as I've gone, and and dependent on my level of understanding at the time. So let's say at the beginning, you tend to grab the simplicity of the law of attraction, blah, blah, blah. And I don't really like the law of attraction term. It's so overused and misunderstood. It really is. And there's more law of polarity, law of, it's more the Hermetic principles that I guess the higher mind resonates with, and with any ancient text of wisdom, if you really, I guess the deeper you become, the more you're able to understand from it. I've heard in many ancient texts they have secret codings and things, and I tend to think it's not literal. That the coding is, and sort of enlightened thing, as you expand your level of understanding of truth. And it's really is an expansion. Expanding your consciousness. What does that mean? It means your expansion of understanding of what makes up the universe and what ultimate truth really is. I will still call I call God source now, or the all mind. It depends on what setting and what forum and who I'm speaking with. But they're all, I guess, accurate terms to a degree. I believe now that, obviously the ether, if you know about the five elements, the ether, the akasha, that's the spiritual sort of realm, I guess, is how you would describe it. It's not something you can really describe. It has to be experienced as your level of understanding deepens. And it's, when I was talking about relinquishing of attachments, it's, I guess, the more open you become to truth and the expansion of truth, the understanding of truth, the more you will be hit with, the harder life will be. It just happens that way. It's really crappy, but you get a crap ton of test after test after test after test after test. And what you begin to realize is, I mean, I viewed life as a classroom for a long time, because it is. That's what we are here for. We're here to learn. We're here to expand our level of thinking, of our level of understanding, to see that our perception of physicality, we're so stuck in the 3D aspect of it that that's all we focus our understanding on. And the 3D is such a small part of what reality is. It it's like you can't even begin to. But most people are stuck in that 3D physicality. Most people are stuck in the belief system that this is me in my body. I am individual. It's only me and it's me against the world, and I am alone, and I have to fight for myself, and I have to be self-serving in order to make it in this world and fight for what I want. And it's the fighting against that is the problem. It's the fighting against things that creates more of that chaos. When you start to see that it's all a fight against yourself, ultimately, it really is. And resistance is resistance to change. None of us, until you start having a higher understanding, you fear change. Change is always bad because you want things to stay the same. You want your relationships to stay the same because they're secure. You want your, let's say, your marriage to stay the same because it's what you base your security in, your comfort in, your, like, what keeps your life on a level of control. Even though control is a total illusion, it is such an illusion. And we enforce our will onto things in order to try to assert control on them. And usually it backfires. It depends on what sentiment you're in. If you're in a sentiment of love and you're trying to genuinely give love, support, encouragement to someone, which is helping humanity as well, once you have a higher mind, you tend to understand these principles as well. The more goodness that you can create, and like, we bring everything into being. We have to believe something first before it can happen. We have to, let's say, envision something before we can create it. That's the essence of everything. We have to envision something before it can come into fruition and it's created into being. And those forces come in from our thoughts. But it's not a physical, our thoughts, it's universal force is a very interesting thing, and it's rather complex, but it's very interesting. If you learn things that would be helpful for that, or things like learning sacred geometry, which is it's very exciting, actually, when you see the intricacy of the universe and that everything is so intricately working together in a divine continuum. Otherwise, it would be chaos everywhere all the time. Like, we wouldn't be able to sustain life anywhere. No, I can't remember how I started. I will say on here, I do have a little bit of cognitive difficulties. I do have a little, I have ADHD. I have a bit of problems with memory, although those are, as I'm learning, disease is not a real thing. It's our perception that makes it so. So I am using my higher mind to work on my physical ailments, because I have had quite a few for quite a while. But I've been stuck in that dynamic as well. A part of this is learning how our unconscious affects us, how it influences our perception of feeling, experiencing things in our bodies, our perception of pain, our perception of reality, like at any point in time. There's so much to really learn, but sacred geometry is an exciting way to at least see how things are put together in the universe, and how like, math was discovered, it wasn't created. Things like that, just like Pythagoras, I think, was the beginning of things, and how great thinkers in their ultimate search for truth had genius flow through them. I don't see genius is kind of a fluid thing as well. We all do have genius in us. To different levels, but the higher you have an understanding of, that higher you have an understanding of universal force principle, that everything, let's say everything is the same, like good and evil, black, white, right, wrong. It's the same thing, but different variations thereof. The universe is very much like that. Even good, evil. On a higher level, there isn't really any such thing as good or evil. It's variations thereof, and its polarities and how it's interspersed and how it affects whatever it touches, I guess. Hello, Zeus. You want to come say hi? This is Zeus. He's looking for a home because we have too many. Zeus, say hi. He's a sweet kitty. He's young. If you're anywhere in Saskatchewan and you want a cat, go crazy. I guess that's all, folks, for now. I hope you learned something in my babbling. And oh, there's Zeus. You want to say hi, Zeus? Oh, I'm working it now, baby. Oh, yeah, he's beautiful. He looks like a sphinx. He kind of does. Oh, Lily, come here, Lily. Lily. This is my bestest kitty, Lily. Yay, I love Lily. Lily, are you the bestest kitty? Usually you say. Lily, can you see Lily? There's my Lily. Anyways, yes, I'm Crazy Cat Lady. Peace out. Hope you learned something. Have a great day. Bye.